Nation.
Let's go.
You okay over there, Alyssa?
I heard something too. I didn't know what happened.
My headphone was turned up really loud, and your Buff Nation was loud.
Sorry.
No,
that was a good one today, too.
That was a good one.
Yesterday, Jake said that when I wasn't here last week, you said, this show is so good, I forgot the other guy's name. And that made me jealous, so then I invited you to be on the show today so you could remember me.
Who's that? That other guy. That's what I told Jake is the other guy. The Other Guys. Great movie, by the way.
That is a good movie.
How you been, man? I missed you, bro.
I've been good.
I think, just as much as missing you, I missed the corduroys and they're back.
Thank you. I always wonder if people can tell that the texture of my pants.
I don't know if they could tell on that, but they're ruffles.
They are.
Ruffles.
They're corduroy joggers.
Excellent.
Only I rock these.
They look very comfortable.
They're comfortable, stylish.
Yeah. You could sleep in them, wake up and just go.
Yeah.
Maybe lip brush them,
Yeah. Little something.
We're presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. Happy Tiersday, everyone.
Yes.
We will rank.
This is an epic Tiersday.
Yeah. The most important one so far.
Those who followed me back from my early days on the BSN Broncos podcast and BSN Buffs podcast know the further away we get from reality, the happier I am.
Well, we're getting pretty far today.
Exactly. So I thrive in the off season because there's nothing real to talk about.
We will talk about the Big 12's mascots. We'll get into 2024's mystery teams. But we start today. Sports Illustrated reported earlier this morning, Tar'Varish Dawson officially going to enter the portal once it opens in the spring. He is out. That's why he's not on the roster.
And the wording in the article was dismissed from the team.
Yes.
And there's only one person that can dismiss you from the team.
Uncle Neely.
You got it.
Are you like the cut man in the NFL?
I am totally not. I am totally not. That is a head coach decision and Coach Prime.
But are you the one that delivers the message?
No, not at all. You're talking about the Turk.
Also,
the
the cut man doesn't deliver the message. He just comes and says, hey,
Yeah.
coach wants to speak to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you walk him to the office.
But everyone knows what
that
conversation's
means.
going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's not me, man. We wish everybody the best that was part of the program. And as they transition and go to other places, one thing about that portal door swings both ways. You get to the end of the spring game, and even leading into it, there are going to be more people to transition out. But this was, a dismissal going into the portal. So wish Chick the best, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously don't know the details of the situation, but as it relates to the wide receiver position, I was pretty convinced there would be some attrition there absolutely. One way or another before the roster's finalized by the fall. A lot of players there. So, whether it's a dismissal or even, entering the portal, Chick was one of the guys I was looking at as, okay, well, that's a guy who made some plays last year, but didn't have as much opportunities as I'm sure he wanted to. It doesn't look like the opportunities are going to grow this year. And so, again, kind of one of those players I was looking at is we'll see if he's one of the guys who ends up being in the portal. But it's also a position with arguably the most depth on the team.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think that when you look at the numbers from last year, whether they were his individual numbers or the collective numbers of the group, the room has gotten better and will still get better when it's at full strength coming after, May when everybody gets here for fall camp. So it's one of those things where, like you said, numbers-wise, performance-wise, it's not a surprise that a guy would be transferring out. But then when you look at the dismissal and kind of what went on internal with the program, then, you wish the guy the best, man, as they move on.
This kind of started last year. I mean, they really loaded up on skill positions last year. We're just trying to pack the room with talent. Chick had his moments. I mean, 14 receptions, only 124 yards, but had the long touchdown against Nebraska, had another rushing touchdown as well. And you go into this offseason, you get the 2 grad transfers in LaJohntay Wester and Will Shepherd. Will Shepherd's not even here yet. So that's another spot that's going to be taken once we get through spring football. And then we saw the 2 freshmen from last year, Isaiah Harge and Adam Hopkins, switch over to defensive back. Like, the attrition's already been going on in the wide receiver room.
Absolutely. And I don't think it's over yet.
No,
no.
No.
I think that this is a roster that is crowded with talent, more talent than we had this time last year. And so you're going to see people, switch rooms. You look at, say, Trevor Woods. He is totally immersed in the linebacker room now. He's not over with the corners or with the safeties. He's in Coach Hart's room now. So you're going to see a lot of that going around as guys try to find their way in navigating this talent-rich team and make sure they're in a spot where they can contribute and have their talent showcased. It's all about opportunity.
Speaking of Trevor Woods, it's an interesting one with him going to linebacker. I also would assume an opportunity for him to gain some weight so he can better suit the position. Mm-hmm. But I remember talking with Coach Hart about him last year, and it was just like, he was essentially saying it's a blessing to have a guy with that type of football IQ in the room.
I was about to say that, man. You clearly want to bulk up if you're moving from safety, down to linebacker. But with Trevor's football IQ and him being a vocal guy in the room already and knows the assignments, the alignments, the technique, you can actually live if he didn't bulk up because that IQ makes up for the mass. Yeah. He has an exceptional football IQ at that position, man.
What's been going on at the Champion Center this last weekend?
It's been going good, man. Like you and I discussed last week when the other guy was out, somewhere in the world, where's Waldo? It's the energy, Jake.
Yep.
The swag, the demeanor of the guys in the building. They look and still carry themselves like they have been playing together 2 or 3 years. The chemistry in the weight room, the pushing each other in the weight room, challenging each other, having fun, getting to know each other in the cafeteria. You see them just hanging out. Got to do one player-led practice and see their chemistry there as well as they, somewhat compete against each other doing 7-on-7 kind of stuff and, non-contact drills as well. But, man, it's one of those things, Jake, where if you look at end of February this year compared to end of February last year, it's not even comparable. And that's even just from an eyeball test. Like, you guys remember this time last year, post a video, all in the comments, man, these guys are small. Well, you don't hear that kind of talk now.
No.
Like, that is gone. We got some size. We look like a football team.
Chidoze squatted like 560 pounds the other day.
Yeah, with red hair.
Yeah.
That is some hair, man.
It is lovely.
Have you noticed Coach Prime, reacting or I don't know exactly what the word is, to that different change in vibes and chemistry?
Yeah. And it's probably double fold, triple fold. His health this year compared to this time last year off the charts better. I mean, the guy can literally jog and run now, and so you see him, moving about with a pep in his step and a bigger smile and loving the vibe, the reciprocated vibe that he's seeing from the guys. Because coaches can watch him lift weights and walk around and eyeball test things, and so you could tell he's loving the relationships that these guys are building together. That's something he talked to you guys about at the Super Bowl that he's big on this year, not just with the players, but the coaches with the coaches and the players with the coaches and the coaches to the players. It's all about, hey, let's get to know each other. Let's become a family. Let's bond in this strength and conditioning series and push each other, because the more that we know each other, believe each other, support each other, the better we're going to play together. And you see that just in his energy walking through the building, man.
And it's kind of self-fulfilling once you start to get that culture and that chemistry within the team, because, one, it becomes a lot easier to identify if people aren't with it. Mm-hmm. When there's this big group that are all moving in one direction, all of a sudden there's someone out here that doesn't feel like they're moving in the same direction. It's easier to identify those people.
I like that.
And either tell them, hey, get with the program, or go somewhere else. And so I think you only become stronger and stronger and stronger. And then you can reach a point where you're so strong that you're actually willing to take risks on certain players, because you know that they'll just come in and become, you used to see it with like Bill Belichick's Patriots, where it's like they'll take a guy who got let go from some team because he was fighting with a coach or a player or whatever, and they're like, yeah, he'll fit in all right here. He's going to come in and like just join with us. And so it was something that we talked about last year and kind of hoped it would come together. And I think it did for a moment there, but it already feels like it's infinitely stronger now than it was at this time.
Concur. And again, even with starting at the top of Coach Prime, this time last year, he's what are the things? The segways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he's either riding a Segway or riding a bike literally through the building. Now he's walking and jogging and running everywhere in the building. And so if his energy is that high a year later, the organizations are going to always take on the characteristics of the leadership. And when you see him smiling, bouncing around, challenging guys, challenging other coaches to bench press and pull-up contests, what do you think the players are going to do? It's just a totally different vibe from a year ago. And to what you said about being able to hide, last year, probably some 40 to 60% of the people here this time, were not his guys.
Yes.
And so the minority were the people walking around with the swagger. And now it is the overwhelming majority. And so you hit it on the head. That you stand out when you ain't with it.
Yep.
You stand out.
Man, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it is crazy. Last year was such a whirlwind. Coach Prime comes in December, and there's something happening like every day, it felt like.
Yeah.
Until they kicked off against TCU. And when you take a second to just step back and look, we talked about it yesterday, like the people in the rooms with these coaches last year weren't even going to be on the team. I mean, they're actually accomplishing real things right now. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't do that at this time last year because the coaches were looking around and saying, man, I don't know if that guy's going to be here. And I joked with Jake yesterday. I'm like, I bet you these coaches are sleeping a lot better this year than they were last year.
As much as type A personalities can sleep. Because they're definitely go-getters. But your example and analogy is spot on. This time a year ago, you're sitting there trying to prepare for spring football and the spring game, knowing that this is not the Labor Day weekend roster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now you look around the room, and the majority of the people in the building are going to be with you Labor Day. And so what's taking place strength and conditioning-wise, what's taking place, at the level of install discussions that can take place or PLPs that will be taking place going into late March and then April practice, you're really getting ready for week one now versus, hey, man, why am I sitting here talking to this guy? I know he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like at this time last year, you're probably just still trying to figure out what you have.
Yep.
Not even like team chemistry and stuff like that is such a step above where you were at this point last year. And it just shows you that last year was all about laying down a foundation, figuring out, what players are going to be with you, what players are going to be on, as we used to call it, the lifeboat. That's if the ship's going down, who's on the lifeboat?
Yeah. Jakey Poo.
Yeah, he's like third.
That's harsh. That's harsh, man.
No,
I mean, I'm saving you.
Oh, okay.
You're like, I'm putting you priority one. Save Jake. Jake is so used to me dissing him that when I compliment him, he balls his fists.
So, you go from trying to figure out what your foundation is. Now you have that foundation. And, in the most literal sense, you build on the foundation. Like you had to start somewhere. I think there's so many people that just ignore that. And I think that they know that they're doing it disingenuously.
Yeah.
But when you look at it in that way and say, okay, year one is about building a foundation, you really have to look back and say that was a success. Yeah,
you have to. Not only from a 12-month retrospect, but even when you look at the season itself. How we were able to go to TCU, roughly 22-point underdogs, get that win, started off hotter than you can ever start a college football season.
Yep.
And, the wheels start to come off after that. But when you go from inheriting a one-win team, increasing that to 4, now having a true offseason with your staff, your players that are coming back, new players coming in who've had the opportunity because of programs like this and well-off media and reach the people to see the culture of the program. And so the folks who came in, not culture shocked. They're not caught off guard. They knew what they were coming into.
Yep.
They've seen it. And so now you are exponentially ahead of where you were a year ago with these guys because the buy-in is exponentially ahead.
I almost get the feeling that some of these guys who transferred into this team this year were like, or even like a Jordan Seaton, we're watching this team from afar last year and almost feeling like a calling. Like I got to go help those guys. Yeah. I got to go help Coach Prime.
Yeah, I could make a difference.
Yeah, I could be. Exactly. It's like there's like a strong, vibe of these guys who are like, I can help and I got to go help, drive this mission forward.
I agree with that. And that's the power of, social media and the way the Coach Prime utilized it and allowing that peek behind the curtain, and not just in the sports aspect of it, but hell, even the cafeteria, the support staff people that you get to know, whether it's strength and conditioning coaches or, player development coaches, everything is open. And so when you're on the outside, you get to see not only how those people navigate, how I fit if I was there in those shoes. And I think you're spot on that, guys are sitting around watching that and going like, man, I would have made that play.
Yeah.
Or I would have reacted different in that situation. I'm going to take a look and go in there. And when they get there, they see the cameras ain't lying. We are what we show you.
Yep.
I want to ask you about Coach Brett because he's coaching tight ends now. Yeah. First off, is he still coaching slot wide receivers?
I think it's just tight ends, but I will say this about the mechanics of the offensive room. Shermer is clearly the OC.
Yeah.
But all the coaches are deputized OCs, if I could use that. Like, Coach Flea may be coaching the running backs, but everybody helps Coach Flea coach the running backs. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's going to be a lot of overlap between Coach Jason Phillips, the wide receiver coach, and Coach Brett Bartolone, the tight end coach. So my short answer to that would be yes, but it's probably not as tangible as people think when I say yes,
right.
It's just more of the way they communicate and work together when they script things out.
Well, how's that transition for him going to the tight ends coach?
He hadn't missed a beat, man. He's still walking around with that's my bully. He's a tough guy. He has a PhD in attacking, and so he wants this tight end room to be a major part, of the offense. And he has Coach Shermer's ear, and just as he has, all the way up to Coach Prime's ear, because he was Coach Prime's offensive coordinator at Jackson State for a season, then came out here as a receiver coach, so he understands what Shedeur is looking for and needs. And so he's going to be able to elevate that tight end room and then also be there to help in the assistance with wide receivers because he, just like Jason Phillips, both played college ball in this side of the college world.
Last year in that room, they kind of lacked I don't want to say a headliner because Mikey definitely headlined the show.
He turned it into a headline. He did. Yeah.
But do you think that Shimon Mateer is going to be a true headliner for that room this year?
Let me tell you why I say yes. I think that this offense, as we get particularly through spring ball and eyeball these guys with pads, and the want to becomes more evident. And right now he looks like a want-to guy, looks like a guy who wants to be here and put in the work. I think what you're going to see more than is this 11 personnel or 12 personnel, whatever, you're going to see the best 11 guys on the field. And I think he's going to emerge as one of those best guys, which is going to put him on the field. When I say this, I'm not taking anything away from Mikey's accomplishments last year, but keep in mind that was a walk-on wide receiver converted to a tight end. Yep. There were times when Mikey was on the field that a better athlete was on the sideline.
Yes.
All right. So no diss to nobody. It just is what it is.
To be, I'll take it a step further. There was always a better athlete on the sideline when Mikey.
I think what you're going to have going into this season, you're going to be able to create some tight end situations where the tight end is one of the better athletes on the team, and thereby he's on the field.
Yep.
Versus, oh man, we got to have a tight end. Because that's what football says. Well, football, you say you got to have a fullback, and you saw how that position has gone away. And then even with tight ends now, you see what they're doing in the league. It's not the big boy blocking tight end. It's another damn receiver.
Yep. I would also, though, I don't want to take away from Mikey because I actually, if I were Coach Brett or any coach, honestly, would use Mikey as an example to all of the weapons and pass catchers as Absolutely. To – being, 6'4" with a 40-inch vertical isn't what gets you the ball. Mikey had, 6 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Why did he have 6 touchdowns? Because he could be trusted.
Yep, he was reliable, man. And how was he reliable in games? He was reliable in practice. When the play would break down and the deep ball wasn't there, Shedeur knew where to find him. And just as sure-handed as Mikey was on Saturdays, he was that sure-handed on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
And it just translated. So – again, this is no slight to what he was able to do at that position and being coached by Tim Brewster last year at it. But, again, he was not a true tight end, and look what we were able to do with it. Just think what you can accomplish with a more athletic guy.
Right, exactly. And that's what I would be just trying to preach to a Shimon Mateer is, be in the right spot and catch it and you are going to put up numbers.
That's literally what Shedeur said.
Yes.
Just run your route.
Yes.
At the right depth, turn around at the right time, and you will get the ball.
And
the ball's going to hit you in the face.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be there.
And even, you go back to the TCU game, and I remember it pops up in the Coach Prime doc when they're talking before the Nebraska game at the steakhouse, and Shedeur says, oh, man, when Mikey broke that tackle, remember he caught a ball like 3rd and 6, short of the sticks, broke a tackle and got a first down.
Mm-hmm.
And Shedeur's like, that's when I like calmed down. So like even then, he just check off, earned a little trust, made a play, fought for the extra yardage. Like those little things really matter, especially to a quarterback like Shedeur who notices everything.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just looking forward to, man, when we get into spring ball, and I don't mean just the start of it. I mean like we're, 2 or 3 weeks in, we're a week before the spring game. And you're really seeing guys compete out there and go after it, because that's when you're gonna, truly know. All right, we're gonna start to see some separation, and it's not just the wide receiver room or utilization of tight end. It's the D line room is going to be like that. Clearly, Shane Coates was the leader of that line last year. From a vocal standpoint, from a knowing standpoint, he was the guy that was the coach on the field or the coach in the room when the coaches left. Well, now you got more than just him. And then you're going to see who's going to emerge. Will it be Shane again or somebody else? One thing this team has more than it had this time last year is talent and depth. It's not just depth, but the guys that you may be thinking, which is too early to be thinking this way, who are going to be 2 or 3s, they got talent. They got talent, man. We got good problems.
It's time to chill, boys.
Let's go.
Let's chill. Let's chill. That's Guy. You don't know about Guy, man.
Time to chill with our good friends over at Coors Light. It's a bit chilly outside today, but
snow came out of just nowhere, bro.
Welcome to Colorado.
And then it's gone, and it's sunny.
Yes, it was like 65 yesterday. We kicking it. Leave the house this morning. Everything's just wonderful. Then snowfall, and then like an hour later, the snow is gone.
Coors Light, so crisp and refreshing that even in the cold weather, it still hits exactly the same. Come down to the DNVR bar, get yourself a Coors Light, and hang out with us. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer I reach for, so when you want to hit reset, grab the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Make sure to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We really got Coors, man.
Yep.
Wow. Also, shout out to Game Time, and shout out to our friend of the program, Chris, who hit me up yesterday and said, hey, what's the code for Game Time? I'm already buying tickets for the Buffs games next season.
Woo, woo!
So shout out to Chris, and I told him the code is BUFFS Buffs. That is how you get $20 off your first purchase from our friends over at Game Time. Make sure when you're signing up with your new account, you see the little area that says like apply voucher, apply code, and put Buffs in there and unlock your code, and also give us credit to the great people over at Game Time, which is the only place that you can be rewarded for procrastination, something that I know if you're anything like me, you will deeply, deeply appreciate. So hit up our friends over at Game Time. Use the code BUFFS Buffs when you sign up.
Probably one of the most successful codes of all time.
Dre told us when he was on this show last week it was the most used code by Game Time last year.
Come on.
I just thought I would tease that,
Yep.
That is Dwayne Wade just putting it up so LeBron can dunk it. Hey, take that, Jake.
I love it.
You know what to do with it. Hang on the rim.
I got you, bro.
Does that make me Bosch?
He was a key piece of that team.
I'll just be Jokic.
Okay. All right, 247 Sports put out a list of college football's biggest mystery teams heading into 2024. Can you guess?
They define what a mystery is. I mean, I know, but I just want to hear what they.
Do you want to hear the opening paragraph?
Yeah, give me that lead.
Spring practice is rapidly approaching, and several elite college football programs have significant questions to answer on the practice field. A handful of teams are nearly impossible to project until we see them on the field next fall, including a powerhouse program like Penn State, blah, 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 blah. That's basically it.
Okay. So impossible to project is what they're saying.
And the team at the very top of the list, Coach Prime's Colorado Buffaloes. Josh Pate actually talked about this on his show. He said Colorado's the definition of a mystery team. They went 4-8 last year, and they're talking about a playoff berth this year. Their schedule is a nightmare. Their over-under win total is 6.5. There are warts on this team, but at the same time, so much about them was unknown last year. and they came out of the gate on fire. They faded down the stretch, but they still delivered more than a lot of people expected them to. They imported a new offensive line. Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and Travis Hunter is one of the best football players in the country, but what do they have around them?
Well, I'm going to try to take this from both directions. I totally understand why. Great one. He's back.
Sheesh.
That was just exceptional right there. That was like, well, you may be the Ray Allen of this team. That was bang from way downtown. So you got this notion of what you don't know, right? Do we know how much better this offensive line is going to be? Do you know it? No, you haven't seen them play together yet. So I get it in the spirit and tone of that. But when you have Shedeur Sanders, who is not one of, he is the best college quarterback going into this season. When you have Travis Hunter, who's not one of, he is the best athlete in college football.
Concur.
The other weapons that that are coming back, like a Jimmy Horn Jr. Or Marion Miller, you have some things that give you enough information that the mystery of this team ain't a mystery. We're going to be better than we were last year. Now, what that end result looks like, I could see someone on the outside saying, man, I don't know. But you can look at what we brought in as far as what they did, where they're coming from. You can look at what we had that's returning, and you already know it's a better team.
I completely agree, and I think I understand the idea that it's a mystery to others. Because of everything that was detailed there, right? They were a massive mystery last year. A lot of people said they're going to win one game again, 2, 3, whatever. They end up winning 4. I think that they ended up on the right side of that mystery. Like, they were better than the average person expected them to be. This year, it's less of a mystery to me.
I agree.
Because there was still questions out there, while it wasn't on this show or your show, as to whether or not Shedeur Sanders could do it at this level. That was arguably the biggest mystery about this team last year to the outside world. To me, I sat there and said, that guy can do it, and all 3 of us did, and that was proved. 27 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. 70% completions, 3,200 yards. He can do it.
Yeah.
Now you improve the surrounding cast around him. You improve the offensive line. You improve the defensive line. Now you actually, in my opinion, get to fully get the benefit of what Shedeur Sanders is, which is the best quarterback in the country. That's why it's not as much of a mystery to me.
Mm-hmm.
The teams with the best quarterbacks in college football and really in any level of football are going to go the furthest. And last year was an anomaly, not a normal thing for a team with a quarterback as good as Shedeur to struggle as much as they did. But we know the reasons why they did. We don't have to go over all of them.
Sure.
I don't think it's as much of a mystery. And when I hear that and I hear that they're impossible to project, I just hear dollar signs. Because that means, whether it's 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, where I've seen multiple different numbers, people aren't going to be able to project this team again for the better part of the early season. And I just hear okay, well, I'll do what I did last year and, just rake it in as they prove people wrong early on.
I do think there's some mystery to this team, though.
Yes.
I mean, it's basically the same thing as last year. I mean, you brought in all these players and you can look at them on paper and go, we're definitely better at this position. And yeah, we have more talent and more size, but they still got to come together and play together, especially with all the new coaches that we have, new defensive coordinator. There's going to be changes on that side of the ball that we're probably going to have to work through into the season, not only just this spring. So there is still some mystery with this team. And while they are greatly improved in terms of talent and size, it's all got to come together still.
Yeah. I think the real mystery, though, is are they going to be good or great?
That's about, 6.5 win total. That's bowl eligible.
Yeah.
That's
the part I laugh at is people going, oh, they got him at 6. Okay. And then, we get 7 or 8. Either way, 6, 7, 8 put you in the bowl game.
Yep.
Okay. Probably conference championship. Okay. I will live with that. I love that. I love those odds. And I'm with you, Jake, the way you broke down mystery to you and understanding it. That's why I'm not offended by the headline.
Yeah.
At all. But when I look at what was accomplished last year, and even those losses, there were losses the year before, they weren't blowouts except for 2. Like, you were in those games. So you had already, as you talked about earlier, laid that foundation. Now you have a true offseason with the bulk of the guys who – what we had last year were guys that you pretty much only coached 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, Neely, where are you getting that from? Here's where I'm getting it from. When you start strength and conditioning in January with the roster you had last year, most of it was gone by May. When you start your fall conditioning with some May and June workouts, you're only about 90 days from kicking off, right? So you got your team, everybody's in. Now you've had your team or would have had your team 9 months before the first game.
Yeah.
That's going to be better. That's going to be more chemistry, working together well, knowing, been through the ringer together, as Shiloh likes to call it during summer conditioning, manufactured adversity.
Yeah.
Like they keep throwing stuff at us.
Yeah.
They're making stuff up now. I love it, man. I like our odds to not be so mysterious midway through the season.
And what's so interesting about last year's team, and I think, a lot of people use the 4 wins against them. I think that if this was a 6-win team last year, people on the outside wouldn't be calling it so crazy that they think they can make the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between them winning 4 and them winning 6 is like a matter of inches.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And it's so funny because, I'll admit, I guess my side of this too, which is like the first 4 games confirmed what I thought about the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess you could say the first 6 games confirmed what I thought about the team. The last 6 games confirmed what other people, what the detractors thought about the team. And
That's
everyone
fair.
can make their case as to why their 6 games were correct and the other 6 games weren't. But to me, I look at it and I say, okay, there was a huge kind of anomaly game there in Stanford. I'll put money in the jar.
You've put more money recently than I have.
I know. I think that means I'm healing. There was an injury.
Yep.
To
Two
both
injuries.
of the best players on the team,
Mm-hmm.
whether you want to call it Shador or Travis. Both of them one was actually knocked out for 3 games and, recovering in a 4th at the very least. And the quarterback's health slowly but surely deteriorated throughout the entire rest of the season, including missing the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that side of the season is more of an anomaly than the front side of the season, where people would make the argument, oh, you caught TCU before they knew who you were, blah, 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 blah. And so I think they were a lot closer to being a team last year that would be a lot more respected this year than people give them credit for.
Nice bow on that.
The other teams on this list, the Louisville Cardinals, the Penn State Nittany Lions, and the Oklahoma Sooners.
All right. So only 4 mysteries?
I guess so, yeah.
Wow.
We've solved college football.
There should be more than 4 mysteries.
All right, let's get to Tiersday, but first a word from our friends at Fubo TV.
Fubo TV.
Football season is over, but Fubo TV is the best place to watch Colorado basketball, the NBA, whatever you're a fan of in this offseason. They got 140-plus live channels of sports shows, movies, and news. You can stream live from any device. You also get 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. They got the Pac-12 network, so you're covered there. Watch all your favorite sports with Fubo. Go to www.fubotv.com/DNVR, and you can sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro.
Also, I
Shout
was
out to us.
distracted. DNVR events.
DNVR events.
A lot of great stuff going on. We just sold out a Avs takeover, but we also just released all of our Rockies takeovers. And let me make a case for why you should go to a Rockies takeover.
Make the case. I want to hear it because I want to come to a takeover. Sell it to me.
1, you're going to Coors Field, other than Folsom, I would say is the best stadium experience that you can get at Colorado, and you have the most opportunities to do it. It's the reason why the Rockies pull like top 10 attendance numbers every year despite sucking. 2, the Rockies suck. That should be a bad thing. But in this case, it's the main reason you would want to go to a Rockies game is to go and hang out with people.
Yes.
So 3, you get to hang out with a great community. And I'm actually looking forward to this. Now, eventually the Rockies are going to be so bad that it takes every ounce of care I have for them out of me. But right now, I'm not thinking about that. And so all I can think about is an ice-cold Coors Light under the lights at Coors Field. And you can do that with us by coming to a Rockies takeover.
If you're selling, I'm buying. Excellent sales job.
We're going opening day.
We are.
Well, I don't know if it's an official takeover, but from the word around the offices, yes, we're going.
Wow. That sounds sick.
That sounds sick.
Opening day, that's like a local holiday here.
And it might be a local holiday for DNVR as
Let's
well.
go.
If you call on opening day, the phone will just ring.
Follow DNVR on social at DNVR_sports or go to thednvr.com/events and you can check out the entire calendar. Also, we do have the clearance sale going through Wednesday at DNVRlocker.com. Tons of stuff on sale. Go check it out. There's some Buffs gear in there, Nuggets, and just regular DNVR gear.
Hey, let me tell you about the DNVR gear, man, and the notifications. So some time ago, I was on Instagram, and I put something in my cart. And, didn't buy it. Just kind of forgot about it. Got a notification like 24 hours ago. Hey, that thing in your cart, 30% off. Might want to go grab it. I was like, hey, the algorithm's working, brother. Love it.
Shout out Gina. We hired a new person in the company for things just like that.
Yeah, shout out Gino. It's working. I'm proof it worked. I got a notification that the hoodie in the cart was now cheaper than when I put it in the cart.
Well, and if you ask nicely, it might even be cheaper for you.
That's why I didn't pull the trigger the first time. I put it in the cart as a reminder to me.
But that doesn't work for everyone, so go check out the sale.
All right, it's Tiersday. Let's get to it. We're tackling a very, very important topic in the Big 12.
All right.
Let's get weird, baby.
And that's the mascot tier rankings.
We're getting weird. Let's
about to
do
get
it.
weird.
All 16 of them. I even have names for the mascots ready to go. Some of them are pretty sick.
So I think that all factors into this. How good's the name? How good's the costume?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How good of like an animal or being is it?
Yeah.
All that.
Or how lame is it? You know, because
exactly.
There's a couple lame ones in the Big 12.
And,
there are.
I mean, you tell me, Jake. Do we just get the obvious out of the way?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Colorado.
Oh, okay. We usually save Colorado for last when we do.
Okay, let's do it. I mean, everyone knows where it's going, but
That's true.
Yeah, the battle is for second place.
yeah.
All right, the first one we have is the University of Arizona. Can anyone on this panel guess what the name of Arizona's mascot is?
Oh, it starts with a W.
No.
There's two of them. You can't see the picture, but very first picture, there's a male and a female mascot.
It's Wilbur.
Wilbur and
Wilberta.
Wilma.
So close.
I love it.
Wilbur's wearing a jersey. Wilma's in a cheerleader uniform. They're just both big Wildcat mascots. Big obnoxious head.
All right.
They're fluffy.
I'm just gonna bring it up so that
Yeah, so you can see it.
yeah. I mean, this is a objectively
Let's see.
Here,
mediocre at best mascot.
there you go.
It's not only mediocre. It is subpar.
Yeah.
That is no, we could do better. Just the design and the look of it.
I don't like some the loose. Some of them are too loose fitting.
Yeah, the chick looks high schoolish. Like it doesn't look like a university mascot. Look like it's arts and craft and we just put something together. Look at the eyes.
This is a classic C tier.
I think it is.
Yeah.
There has to be worse, right?
Oh, there's definitely
Oh no,
worse.
yeah, I know
There's
worse.
definitely
Yeah,
worse.
I know worse. Because there's a guy that's just a guy.
There's two of them.
Yeah, that's
or
pretty
there's
damn
three of
bad.
them, I think, actually.
It's pretty damn bad.
Yeah. Next, we have Baylor. This is the exact same thing. The bear, the male bear, is actually wearing a football uniform. He's got football pants on and a jersey. The names of these bears, do you know?
I do not know the name of the Baylor Bears.
Bertrand.
No. It is a B name, though. Bruiser.
Okay, all right.
Bruiser and Marigold.
Marigold.
Yeah.
All right. So I looked at the guy.
There's a cool bar down the street called the Marigold.
Yeah, the costume looks is better than Arizona.
It is.
So you're already
Yes.
ahead of them. It looks like a bear, and it looks like a formidable bear.
How do we feel about the mascots wearing football uniforms? I'm kind of off put by the pants.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than them just being naked below like Arizona.
Yeah, well, speak for yourself.
I've
been known to go Winnie the Pooh style myself. That's a shirt, no bottoms.
This is a C tier, bro.
I think the C tier is going to get really crowded, but are you in on C tier?
It's
better than the last one.
I'm going to put him at B tier because it's better than Arizona. And the C is going to get crowded because I know some others.
We could always move it down later.
So we're putting it in B tier?
Sure. We know for a fact it's better than Arizona.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But I hate everything about Baylor.
Next we have Cincinnati.
I feel like this one's cool.
This one's pretty cool. I like it. It's like a black. It's a bear cat, but it's almost like a panther.
Thanks.
Almost.
Ooh. See, this is like a creative looking.
Oh, no, he's top tier, man.
There's actually some detail on the mascot.
Yeah, he's top tier. They tried. They made the effort.
They didn't just go for like a regular bear cat. They tried to make it their own.
Can you guess his name though?
Billy.
Does it start with a B and end with a Y?
It does start with a B. It does not end with a Y.
Okay. Bob the Bearcat.
His name is Bearcat.
Come on, that's minus points.
Yeah, I was going to say
that
drops you some there. You got to get more creative than Bearcat to Bearcat.
If they just went as creative as they went with the actual design, with the name,
Yeah, the costume looks good.
We'd be talking about an A tier mascot.
Yeah,
here.
I agree.
The Bearcat. Wow.
This is another B tier, I think. I like him more than Baylor.
He's B.
I think it probably could have snuck into A tier with a cool name.
Yes, exactly.
Big mistake. Big mistake out of the University of Cincinnati.
Next one of the newer schools, BYU. That is certainly a mascot.
Oh, no.
See what we're working with?
Why does it look like Joe Biden?
He does look like Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe. He does.
This is Cosmo the Cougar.
Bro, that's Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm putting him down there with Arizona, man.
That is
They didn't try on the
bad...
headgear. They didn't try.
It's
Elder Cat.
It's a mascot. That's what we can say.
What's up with the mouth? It looks like it's
He's a
missing
mouth
its
breather.
dentures.
He's a mouth breather.
Yeah, that is.
So
you could make I'm going to make the case this is an F tier because the Arizona one is just boring. This one is like hard to look at.
It's just like, I guess we need a mascot.
This is why I went in the store for name brand and I walked out, name brand mascot, and I walked out with great value mascot.
Yeah, that's a really bad one. That's F tier.
F tier.
There's something just wrong about it.
Next one. I like this one. Iowa State. Can you guys guess his name?
Silly the Cyclone.
Iowa State.
Close, but not close enough.
I got to lay eyes on him. Oh, I just got the name, so I can't.
Cy the Cardinal.
Yeah. It is weird to me when your mascot isn't the thing that you are.
I mean, you can't be a tornado, though.
Yes. Yeah, you can.
You got to get creative. You can be a tornado.
Just make a swirly thing and put some.
Then we're putting that
it.
guy in F tier.
They made a Pop-Tart a fucking mascot, all right?
Well, let's be honest. If it's just a swirly guy, that guy goes in F tier.
Right, but you can do it.
I say you get down. Look at this logo.
Yeah?
I'd be in on that. If that was the mascot.
Yeah.
With the Cyclone and the Cardinal.
No, it'd look worse than it actually does look. I'm telling you.
So where do you want him? You like it. Where do you want him?
I think this is at least a B tier.
Ooh, I would say C tier, but since you said
I'm saying C, man.
yeah,
we've got some terrible ones coming.
And they're
going to
be Fs.
Yeah, I told you it's going to get crowded in the C's.
This is better than average.
By the way, we said if you have a legitimate live mascot, you get to use it. That means it has to be on the field during the games, though.
Yes.
You don't just get to be like, oh, we have a bear cat in the local zoo. Now, like, wears a Cincinnati sweater. Like, no, that doesn't count.
But you also can't just throw a guy out there in overalls.
Nope. Yeah.
Which is coming.
Yeah, that is.
That's what I'm saying. There's some terrible mascots. There's some average mascots. This does not look like an average mascot.
It's slightly below average because they could have done better.
I'm saying this is B tier, but you guys can overrule me.
Yeah, we're overruling you to C.
All right, fine. See, this is a C tier mascot coming up. Houston. Anyone want to guess the name of the Houston Cougar?
Charlie the Cougar.
No.
I think I saw it
soda.
again. Yeah, I saw it already.
Shasta.
I got to guess the name before I Google it.
Is it a girl cougar?
Yeah, there's a male with football pants.
They have the same
football
face.
pants is Shasta. What's the girl one?
I don't know. It just says Shasta.
I'm not that there's anything wrong with this. It does have feminine features.
Yeah, she's in a cheerleading uniform.
No, both.
Oh. No,
yeah. Yeah, it is two chicks, which could be hot.
The only difference between the girl and the boy is the girl has a bow on.
No, they do have the same girl. They both got lashes, so.
Yeah. That's classic
that hurts
C tier.
Yeah, that hurts. It's C. Yeah,
Shasta's a cool name, though. That helps.
I mean, if you're going to have a female and male mascot, you got to be able to tell them apart.
Yep.
Kansas, the Jayhawks. Kind of a classic one here.
Yeah, see, they get points because of classic, though.
I also think they get points for, like, a weird name. You know, like.
What's his name?
I'm just saying, like, it's a Jayhawk. It's not just a standard animal that you, like, see all the time.
I'm asking you guys, though. What's his name?
I know it when you say it.
Isn't it just, like, Lil J or something?
Big J.
Yeah, Big J. That's it. Yep.
There's a little one that goes along with it named Lil J.
Okay.
See, there's Lil J.
Oh, there's Lil J. He got a half jersey on.
Yeah, it does. The number is half.
Look, this one's unique. It actually fits the mascot or the team name.
The execution is giving a little bit of like cereal vibes.
Yeah, but it's too classic for me from Jayhawk basketball. Yeah. I like it. I got to go with it.
I'm pro this one. Yeah. I hate to say I think it's A tier.
No, it's definitely A tier. It's no way it's lower than B.
I do not agree with this list at all. By the way,
well, where would you put the Jayhawk?
He'd be B tier for me.
All right, I'll go with you.
I'll allow B tier. I don't like giving these schools more credit than anyone else. It's a weird looking mascot, which I kind of like. Like if it scares children,
it's got a San Diego chicken vibe, you know.
How about this one though? UCF. This is a massive golden knight. Can you guys guess his name?
His knightdom.
No, almost had it.
What is it? I know it, man.
Do you want to guess?
What's their stadium called again?
I don't know.
Dumb Knight. It's something Knight something, man.
Yeah, it is.
It ain't Knight Rider. That was a car.
It's a dope name.
Nighttime.
Nitro.
That hits.
A big golden knight named Nitro. This is
you spend enough
and I
time,
love the over exaggeration of it.
If you spend enough time in Boulder, you like Nitro too.
This is an S tier mascot for me.
Whoa. S tier.
Yes. This is dope.
I agree with you, man. The name, the look.
Yeah.
The over exaggeration.
Yes.
I love it.
I don't.
Kind of menacing looking.
Now,
he was one of the ones I knew before we did this. You know, I knew the night.
This is a great mascot. What's our other S tier?
Nothing yet.
Not yet.
What's up there?
Well, did we put Ralphie yet?
Oh, yes. So then you have this in the S tier right now. Is that what the second picture in there is?
Yep.
I would denounce the list personally. But hey, you know it's a team list.
You should be in Congress.
I just think that
99% of your bill is ready to be passed. You're like, nope, it's not 100.
There's just no way that this exists in the same tier as Ralphie.
I like the night, man. I like the night.
This is as good as it gets for mascots. I honestly think that.
Unless you have a live fucking buffalo.
Yes, and we will get to Ralphie.
All right. I denounced the list, but the list is the list.
I already denounced the list before this. I think the bottom half is terrible.
No, it's not my list.
It's Alyssa's list.
Nitro goes in S tier. Now we have West Virginia.
A tier mascot. Oh, West Virginia. Now we're getting weird.
No, this is bottom.
This is a human being.
Yeah.
With like a raccoon hat. Yeah. He's got a rifle, and he's wearing animal skins.
I already know that this is just horrible. They didn't even try.
Can you guess his name?
Billy Bob
Eric
Brubaker.
Mountaineer. They literally just named it after the team name. This is one of the worst ones there. This is an automatic F tier for me.
Oh, so certainly. Like, they didn't even try.
Yes,
like
this isn't even
budget
trying.
for the costume and upkeep is like $20.
I'm almost like offended on behalf of white people.
And
by this mascot.
And for those reasons, I celebrate. Like, look, I point and laugh.
This is
F tier.
This is such a bad mascot.
It's
Next.
just a guy, man. Like,
yeah, get rid of that.
Next, we have Oklahoma State. Can you guys guess the name of Oklahoma State's mascot?
Pistol Pete?
Pistol Pete. Well done, Unc.
Pistol Pete. I like
this
him.
is another human, but it doesn't have it does have a mascot head, but it almost looks like it's
a human mascot head.
yeah, but it's like plastic
It's like,
too. It's
Yeah.
not like
I love the chin and the beard. You know, the 5 o'clock shadow.
I'm giving points for weirdness on this one. Like,
This
no
list
other
makes no
mascot
sense.
looks like this.
No, I like Pistol Pete.
this
man.
thing makes no
I
sense.
gave points for weirdness on Jayhawks, too.
So what tier is this?
I had a feeling we would disagree on this
A.
list. That's what makes
A.
it a good list. Is there nothing in the A tier?
No, we got to put him there.
Yeah, this
Pistol
The
Pete.
Jayhawk should be in the A tier.
this can go in the A
Facts,
tier.
but we negotiated with the tier. So.
I told you this list is already dead in my eyes.
Well, you guys put Nitro in top
Because
tier.
he's sick.
It's kick ass, man.
Yeah.
All right.
But Pistol Pete is badass too. But
Great name, too.
Yeah, just got to drop him down some.
Pistol Pete is a C tier at best.
Whoa. What are you,
This is a-
Why you don't like Pistol
This
Pete?
is a human being with just a head on again. We just
But look at the details, man. He's got the cowboy look.
I
Yeah.
denounce this list.
This guy's sick.
I like Pistol Pete, man.
He actually shoots guns, too.
Yeah.
So where are we putting him?
I say A.
A tier.
I say A as well.
Yeah, it's not
Holy
it. It's
cow.
not, yeah, man.
Good lord.
The chat's with us.
Next we have Sparky.
All right.
I got to see.
Everyone knows who Sparky is.
Except for Neely.
Do you know who Sparky is?
I got to see it. I'm
Oh,
sure I've
It's
seen it.
the
That's the little
ASU.
fire dude, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah,
ASU
yeah.
Sun
Yeah,
Devil.
that's what I thought it was. Yeah, the Sun Devil guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my thing with Sparky. Sparky, great as a logo, terrible as a mascot.
I agree.
This is,
I get pedophilia vibes from the face.
yeah,
It looks like he has a van that says candy on the side.
like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't like him.
yeah, I don't like him either. And then, like what you just said, your issue with Pistol Pete was,
Yes.
the whole costume is just a head, but at least Pistol Pete has like other cowboy elements
Yeah,
to him.
He looks like
Okay.
a cowboy.
This is just
That's weird.
a
You
football.
like weird, though. Is you going to get points for weird? That's weird in the wrong way.
My problem is like it's nothing. It's
Nothing
just a
else
head.
with it, yeah.
Anyone could be the mascot if they just had the head.
He's got a tail.
Oh, he does have a tail.
Looks like a penis from that shot. As he's standing widely. Yeah, but it's a tail.
Different kind of horn.
Good lord.
This is
A little too creepy in the face for me, man.
C tier.
C tier.
I would go D, but I'll go C with
Is
you.
there a D tier?
No.
No, we don't
No.
have. For some reason, Jake never adds a D tier.
Because it doesn't make sense. We don't need 7 tiers.
It would be 5, I think.
It'd be 6.
Okay.
Either way.
But like that, the logo is kind of cool. Like it, it's.
Yeah, no, it comes off good as a graphic, but it doesn't translate to a guy.
TCU. His name is?
Super Frog.
It is.
It's some kind of frog. Is it Super Frog?
Yes, it's Super Frog. You talk about detail.
They got the horns.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's just a guy with a head.
No, it has arms
It actually does,
It does
have
have
like,
arms.
yeah, it's like a full suit almost.
and spiny legs.
So you like it. You're going to go with this one.
Yeah. I fuck with Super Frog. I think at the very least it's A.
I agree. We finally agree on
All
that.
right, we can leave it there.
A tier.
Weirdness points off the charts here. Look at those
So
eyes.
question.
Uh-huh.
When you were removing that graffiti in Fort Worth, which some would say was taking down a banner at a frat house,
Yep.
and Super Frog stood there and said, "Don't do it," would you have stopped? Is your respect for Super Frog so high
No.
that you would have said, "You're right, Super Frog, this is wrong"?
I would have done it, taken the banner, thrown it over Super Frog, and run away.
Next, Utah. This is a another human with a mascot head.
Yep, and
Already
And it's a
against it.
hawk.
you told me the name earlier.
Yeah,
so
what's
I
its
can't
name?
guess.
Could you guess, Neely?
No, I just don't like it when I see it.
His name is Swoop.
Yep, and bad mascot.
It's got a hawk head. It looks like there's some like gloves, a little bit of feathers on the arms.
It does has some fake muscles.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of it. Plus the car wouldn't start.
Wait, why is it a falcon with a tail?
It doesn't make any sense. It's F tier.
Or a hawk with a tail.
Doesn't even relate to the school. It's just random.
No, it's low rank for me, man.
I don't like it.
F?
S. F tier.
Let's go. I love putting ones in F tier.
All right. Next, we have Texas Tech.
I think this
So I love the Pistols.
What's his name?
Yosemite Sam.
That's what he looks like.
Red Raider.
Raider Red.
Wait, but they also have the Masked Rider? Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah, and you told me no.
Well, calm down.
he went 10. He went 10.
I told you this list is flawed already.
What do you mean? Okay, so that's not a mascot. We did the right thing there. This thing, Raider Red, is better. Not as good in terms of Cowboy mascots. Definitely below Oklahoma State, right?
Yeah, because he's a little too more cartoony.
Yep. He doesn't look intimidating at all.
But he's better than who we've already ranked low. So that's helping him. But he can join them.
It's a creative kind of.
Do we ding it for like being a Yosemite Sam ripoff?
Yeah, it's too cartoony for me. I'm not, I don't like him like I like Pistol Pete. See, if you got a tough over it like that, it's already bad.
It's his C or B.
I'm gonna go C.
Okay.
It's not a B for me. It's not a B for me.
Next to last one, C. This is, in my opinion, one of the worst mascots in all of college sports.
Let's go.
Kansas State.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
His name should be I Don't Give a Damn.
I think it's should be Wild Rat.
His name is Willie the Wildcat, and it's a human being that they're calling a wildcat.
Kansas State mascot. It's not a wildcat. It is a rat.
Yeah.
Like, you look at that thing, that's a rat.
This is a human being with a mascot head that is 5 times bigger than it should be.
Yeah, they didn't try.
Yeah, this is literally like, shit, we only got the head shipped in. Let's just run with it.
It's so much worse for basketball.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
this is
terrible.
Yeah, this is the lowest rank ever.
Absolutely terrible.
This is down there with the white guy in the overalls.
Do you think that they, were in, a Arizona situation where they were halfway through making the mascot costume and they found out they were $200 million in debt?
Yes.
And they were like,
exactly what happened.
Cancel it. Yeah. Cancel production.
They just used the same head.
Why does it look so much like a rat?
Yeah, it's bad.
Have you ever seen there's a video that they made about recycling featuring the wildcat?
No.
Oh man, that might be maybe we don't play it so we make sure we don't get any copyright claims, because who knows what music's on there. But I'll show it to you guys. I think it's called Power Cat Recycle, something like that. Look it up. It's weird. One of the weirdest college football videos ever.
Finally, we have Ralphie, who goes up in the S tier.
Absolutely.
S tier, best mascot in sports, easiest decision ever. And to be honest, even if you went Chip's up there too.
All right, no doubt.
Chip is my guy.
I was going to say that. Yeah, Chip, either way. Either way. The crowd participation, man, the chemistry, they work it. And it looks like what it is.
Yep. Full costume. But I think if you have a real mascot, like if Texas was still in the conference, I would let them use Bevo. If Georgia was in the conference, they get to use Uga. Does LSU bring the tiger out?
No.
In a cage?
It can go in a cage, and it's a little trailer kind of thing.
They probably don't leave it in there.
It's never out the cage though.
Well, yeah. Let's keep it that way.
It's not like Bevo, where it's just chilling.
So like I said, I don't think there's any other true live mascot in the Big 12. When you said
the Texas Tech guy.
No, that's not a thing.
Okay.
It's just not.
Okay.
It said his name is the Red Rider, so that means the mascot is the human.
No, there's a horse too, bro.
Yeah, but that's the man riding the horse is.
If we did ACC, we would rank the Seminole guy that plants the spear at midfield. The fact that we didn't do the Red Raider is
Do you want to add him in and do it? Because
you already told me no.
It's the same thing.
No, you already told me no.
It's still just an average mascot. Anyone can ride a horse.
We have Texas Tech ranked in C tier. The guy on the horse is better than C tier.
I just want to say how much I love when Jake overreacts.
The laws for this list were just.
It's crazy that he didn't bring up any issues with this when we were talking.
Yes, I did.
No.
I did.
No.
Yes, I did.
I was like, that's not their mascot, and you were like, okay.
I tried to get the Baylor Bear on here too, and you said no.
Yeah, that was absolutely egregious.
I tried, chat. I was overruled. I tried to do it valid.
No one's ever seen the Baylor Bear.
They have them on campus, though.
They have like an enclosure, like a petting zoo.
You were just saying Mike the Tiger. He lives in an enclosure.
I asked a question about Mike the Tiger. Does Mike the Tiger make appearances at games? I didn't know the answer.
In my opinion, on this list, the Jayhawk should be higher. Pistol Pete should be lower.
Nope.
Arizona should be lower, and the Cyclone should be higher.
Wait, I thought I was pro Jayhawk. So who was the anti-Jayhawk?
You were, bro.
Yeah, no, you were. Because I was pro Jayhawk. I was like, I say he's classic. Like, he's up there.
Do you guys see what I deal with here?
I think you have to go back to
You were the one that watered it down.
I'm so convinced that I said it was A tier, and then Jake was like, "Nah, that's B tier."
No, the Jayhawk is A tier.
Yeah, I was with you.
I'm gonna review the tape as soon as this ends.
Crazy, man.
I like the Jayhawk.
So, are we putting him in the A tier?
Sure.
Holy cow.
I disagree with you on the Cyclone, though, because they could have done better.
Look at where the Cyclone is in company with. You have the Arizona and the Houston things who look identical, Sparky, who is creepy, and then the rip-off Texas Tech guy.
So, Jake?
Cyclone should be at least one tier higher.
If we had a classroom of midgets, someone is going to be the tallest midget. They're still a midget. So I can't help that he's where he is, and he's just the biggest one of where he is. He still doesn't go up a notch. It sucks. No offense to midgets out there.
I did not make the Jayhawks C
Jack
tier.
is in my corner here, and so is Robert. They both said that you made it B tier or C tier, whatever it is.
I was standing on the classic of it.
So was I. What are you talking about?
It's gonna be great to see who is right.
And I even mentioned basketball, like because they lead the chant, and I think it's pretty dope of them.
I said it was a classic mascot. This is better than most. It should go in A tier.
We'll have to review the tapes on that one.
Jake, I hope you're right, man.
I'm just happy that everyone got to see why I like getting so far away from reality. Going off the rails can be fun.
Oh, man. Questions.
Answers.
Big Teasy with the super sticker. Hippo character repeatedly points to the streamer while chanting, "Get good."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys need to get good at tier lists.
Wow. We should start making separate tier lists, and then we can have people vote on who makes the best tier list.
I like that. I like that.
Sean says he's flying in tomorrow to celebrate his birthday with his old lady on Friday. He plans on stopping by. Can't wait to see you, bro.
Let's go. That sounds great.
Sean Count.
Artemis says, please ask the guys how many games will have national TV coverage.
We don't know, but a
lot.
Most if not all of them.
Wait.
The first three are going to happen.
How can it?
The first five are going to be on TV for sure.
Based on the TV deals, is it even possible for it not to be national TV?
No, we're contracted to Fox and ESPN.
Yeah.
So FS1, if you don't get FS1,
right,
maybe.
Or ESPNU, I guess it could be the worst possible.
If it's a loaded Saturday, yeah, maybe. But there's no way Colorado gets put in.
No, we're going to get bumped up. Like, I mean, you look at our first games, right? The first one is the first one. And so it's the first one.
Yep.
Then it's Nebraska.
Yep.
Then it's Colorado State.
Yep.
Like, you can't not show those three. Then you got your Big 12 debut against Baylor at home.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to Florida.
Yeah, no, it's
like them ain't gonna be on ESPNU. Those are gonna be top tier.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that first one against North Dakota State is a night game. So keep an eye out for that, I guess. And
maybe 24 hours earlier than expected.
There you go. Don Peasy.
We call that a leak if you're paying attention out there.
The super chat says, another great show. I sent you the instructions on how to start players on both sides via Twitter DMs, RK.
I missed all of that because he said freak a leak. He went Petey Pablo over here. Okay, now I'm with you. All right. I had to read it myself.
He says he DM'd me on Twitter on how to do that, but I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's on the DNVR Buffs profile or something. Maybe. Or you just DM some other random guy.
Yeah, the other Ryan Koenigsberg?
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them.
Popular name.
This is the worst tier list you've ever
All right. Spomer says, I love you guys dearly. This is the worst tier list you guys have ever compiled. You should run a vote bracket and let the fans determine rankings.
Chris, I tried my best, brother.
This man acted
You might have been the one who made it the worst one.
No, I did not.
This man acting like
I was
a victim
overruled. I was
crazy.
overruled like 4 times.
It's best 2 out of 3.
Whatever, man.
Jakey poo. I love him.
Whatever. Barron says, a merch team up, pregame show, DNVR, and well off.
Damn, that would go crazy.
Fire.
Sicko. That's a good thing, Jake.
I'm just letting you know I'm going through the show right now to find the Jayhawk placement. What else do we got?
Val Valentine said, where would you rank the Nebraska mascot, Harry Husker? F. I don't know.
They knew that. That's why they asked you.
If they were in this tier list, it would have been fun because I would have just made them their own tier below all the tiers.
I know you would have.
I also think its name is Herbie Husker, for what it's worth. But I kind of like that you said their name wrong.
Yes, with these two guys.
What is that? Oh, for spring practice, will you be continuing player of the day after practice?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Count on that.
Jake, you're going to run out of time there, bud.
Nope, I'm on the Jayhawk right now.
Jake hasn't been the same since Harbaugh went to the Chargers.
He's completely changed his NFL alliance.
And his haircut.
He's so locked in. You can say anything about him right now.
No, he's all he's gonna do is prove that he was wrong.
I know, and then he won't tell us. He'll be like, yeah, couldn't find it.
He's not waiting to after the show. He's
I'm
like
trying to
doing it
listen
right
to
now.
us.
It's not good podcasting.
Sorry, I'm trying to prove myself here.
Look how he's doing it.
Wait, we all said A tier then. How did he end up in B tier?
I said A tier. That's been confirmed.
Whatever.
When he says whatever, that's when you know he's
No,
done.
I'm not-
That's when you know he's
I'm
done.
not trying to go through this whole thing on the show right now.
You got to the good part.
Whatever. That's the ultimate white flag.
Oh yeah, he's done. He lost.
Then how did he end up in B tier?
From you.
Not from me.
We're about to find out. We'll let you guys know tomorrow.
Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.